The sector members lamented that illegal involvement of foreigners in retail business is negatively impacting on them. According to the aggrieved Guta members, shops of foreigners illegally involved in retail trade locked up last year have all been reopened without any proper explanation.
The foreigners are taking over. They've taken over our businesses, our markets, even our shops. Landlords will just evict you and just give the shop to a foreigner.
Yeah, my penny for just 1 week back. Why you say? Yeah, we say. I hope you got the shop more. Yeah, me I can say about it. You got to shop. I understand everybody. Listen to what Say no. One more say to your kofua. Asa guyaso. Asa mabura no mo hweyai. Ablakwa GRF wa no mo ye adwuma no. Yam pribiam.
President of the Ghana Union of Traders Association, Guta, Dr. Joseph Obin, noted that operations of foreigners in retail trade contradicts the Ghana Investment Promotion Center Act and assured the members their concerns will be addressed.
We have to listen to the trade minister and all that, and that we believe that next week, Monday, there will be a meeting to that effect, and that when it's done, they are going to fast track on the fundings of the process.
And those were members of the Guta. They are not too happy. Understanding is that they barged into a meeting and then chased out their executive through, saw them throwing the chairs around. My guest this morning, lawyer Abraham Amalba. He is the leader of the NDC's legal team. He's also a member of the National Communications team. Lawyer Kwame Jantua is a private legal practitioner. He's also the chair of the Political Affairs Committee of the Convention People's Party. And Honorable Hussaini Issa, or Issa Hussaini, is a former member of Parliament for the Okai-Queen North constituency.
Yeah, an accountant by profession.
Greater Accra region. He's an accountant by profession, an economist.
Yeah.
And the... Should I say the Deputy Finance Minister who never was?
Potential.
Potential, who never was? The Deputy Finance Minister who never has been.
Maybe reshuffle. Yes, he's a potential.
But
let's come to one day to the last, what do you call it?
He could get it.
Yes, you get it. Just one day left.
24 hours of power.
1 day.
You said if you had 24 hours of power, what would you do? As Deputy Finance Minister.
Good morning.
Good morning, this economy. That's the question.
Good morning, Johnny, and good morning to my two very good friends on set, and good morning to your viewers, especially my constituents in Okai-Queen North. If I had 24 hours, right, I did encourage people, set out policies to encourage people to produce what we eat and what we wear. Local sort of consumption. It's one of the things I did set because I see that it has far-reaching implications on the performance of our currency and ultimately the economy, creating jobs and all of that. So if I had 24 hours, it's something that I did put my eye on and pursue. Yeah.
Council, morning. How you doing, Malwa?
I'm fine. Just that I think that today is Friday, isn't it?
It is.
So I have proposed that every Friday, we should be given certificate of survival. Because to live from Monday to Friday in this country, it's like hell.
Certificate of survival?
Yeah.
From who?
From the government. Because for Ghanaians to be patient and live from Monday to Friday in this excruciating economy. I'm told that fuel prices will go up again. Oh?
Yes.
You are saying yes. I think you also heard it. So look, see, have you noticed that there's no traffic in town? Yeah. People have literally packed their cars and joining public transport. Why? At this time of our nation building, why have we been reduced to this kind of people in this country? You know, it's difficult to find food to eat. Hey. It's difficult to get petrol to move about. And so you begin to ask yourself, is this what we voted for? And that's why I'm saying that to live in this country from Monday to Friday is like hell. And so that's why the certificate
of survival.
Survivor should be.
That means that by the end of the 4-year period, we'll have too many certificates to accredit.
Oh, yes. And that will show how you have been able to live in these excruciating times. That you live this number of weeks in these excruciating times under Akufo-Addo.
I see. Lajantwa, morning.
Morning.
How are you, sir?
Sorry, I'm still not sure about that.
I'm surviving because I've woken up this morning. Not a lot of people woke up this morning. Not a lot of people who woke up have health. So I'm surviving. The journey.
You're surviving what?
Life.
Okay.
You see, in these types of times, you've really got to cut your coat according to your size. So many things you've got to think about and try as much as possible to live within your means. It's challenging and difficult as it may be. But Johnny, I am not feeling the president.
Oh, why?
I thought in times like this, these austere times, he would be able to bring us together by talking to us, by giving us some direction, not leaving it to his appointees. Because when was the last time we heard from the president? The challenges that we are facing in the country today, people pointing fingers at him because he's the leader. And when you have a leader, the leader should talk to the people. When Moses came down from the mountain and he saw what the people were doing, what did he do? He showed his leadership. And I would love, and you see, it's not a partisan politics thing. I don't think in this austere time we should play party politics. In this austere time, we should give people hope and confidence.
Right.
But I'm not feeling it, unfortunately. And the two main things that are creating the challenges that we are going through, fuel and food. Fuel and food.
FNF.
And sometimes it comes from we the people too. I listened to the Minister of Agriculture when he stated that you buy a basket of tomatoes at a certain price. When it comes to the market, it's so astronomical. And it's true. It's true.
But they will have to transport it.
Fuel. Yes, they'll have to transport it.
People have to load it.
But this is
labor.
This is where the authorities and the regulators should work with us. This is where they should work with us, because some of the prices are over and above that transportation cost. And we should all sit down and work it out. The fact that, yes, fuel has gone up, let's sit down and find a way of working it out so that even if the prices go up, the profit margins are not astronomical.
But Mr. Jantwa, the traders, some of whom I've spoken to, say, look, we get the tomatoes cheap on the market. That's correct. In the farms, that's correct. But the roads connecting the farm, even to the main road, where now the trucks would have to be loaded and brought to the city centers, is bad. So when you ask a truck driver to move from the main road into the farm to cut your tomatoes for you, they are looking at the wear and tear that would, sometimes they get stuck in the mud. So they add all of those things and give it to the market women.
And you see,
they don't absorb it. They
Johnny,
pass it on to us.
Johnny, this is where, when I say I don't feel the president are some of the things. So the president can come and tell us, yes, we know that at farm gates, prices are lower.
Right.
However, when it comes to market, prices seem to be higher or go higher. What are the causes? Bad roads, vehicles, transport vehicles not wanting to go there, fuel prices. Right. So let's see how best we can fix, at least if for nothing at all, the roads to the farm gate. Even if it's feeder.
Yeah.
Even if it's feeder road type of road you're doing, let's see how we can fix it. And let's see it happening. Yeah. And not the Minister of Roads and Highways come and talk to us as if we are children. Come and talk to us as if we are children. He is there to serve us, not us to serve him. So when he goes to the motorway and he tells us that those who don't know what is happening should shut up, what is he doing? He's insulting us. And we vote them into power.
That is why I said I'm not feeling the
You're not feeling the president.
I want to feel him.
Yeah. Mr. President, we want to feel you wherever you are. We want to feel you. You want to say something, but you started.
No, but it was a direct question to me.
But the question he asked us was indirect. Did he ask somebody before the person came and asked us?
I have signed your certificate of survival for the week, if you care. And if you don't mind, every week, every Friday, I'll issue you that certificate.
Sign it in your capacity as well?
It's a grace of God.
In your capacity as well?
In my capacity as a good friend to Councillor Maliba.
Oh, I see.
Yes, as a good friend.
He wants it from the government.
Man, you see, Johnny, it's true. I mean, today, nobody's going to tell you that we are in normal times. And we've been saying this. And like I just said, we've had structural challenges in this country. And it's very important that as a people, we identify what structural problems we have and are able to surmount it. It's the only way that we can get the lot of the people of this country better. I remember, since I knew what economics is, the same issue, farm gate prices and consumption areas like Accra, cost, quality of roads, warehousing and all of that. But thankfully, as a government, but for the global challenges that we are currently facing, we have made attempts and we keep pushing at it. This whole policy, one district, one factory, we are trying to ensure that this agric output are processed or value is added right from the point of production, and that is going to ensure that by the time the food items get to the urban areas, their prices are not going to be as astronomical as we are experiencing.
We have diagnosed what the problems are.
We
Check
know what
the price of fuel.
But it's just not enough.
Pushing the drivers and the market.
After knowing the problems, what are you doing about it?
That's what Mr. Jantua
today you are hearing. For a long time, we are working on getting told to come back on stream. We're doing things, and I promise you that the government itself it's on it. The government recognizes that there are challenges. And by the time we will get to in the next couple of weeks, we are going to have the mid-year budget, and I promise you that some of these policies
wouldn't you rather have the monies the president used in hiring private jet, the top of the range private jets, used to provide some of these feeder roads to the farm gates?
I don't know what you call top of the range, but
we see the plane.
There's international travels, diplomacy, and what the president has to do outside of this country are quite very important, actually, for us as a people. I saw pictures of him being in Kigali, working on this Africa itself, producing vaccines to ensure that we are self-sufficient when it comes to issues like that, us on our own as a country. I hear there are pharmaceutical entities ready to. I mean, these are very important. I mean, and in recent times, things happening around the world have told us that it is imperative that we adopt some of these things and ensure that we are self-sufficient.
The president
and we keep
at some
sitting,
point traveled.
Like locally we'll say the president say like the ex-president.
The president at some point.
You have to go
the
out
president
there and
at
look for
some
something
point
for the people.
when we talked about how much it was costing us for him to travel, he used the private jet, a commercial jet out of this country, and the private jet went to wait for him. That was once because he wanted us to
Is it a matter of how much it's costing or how much we are getting from such travels?
Yes, I'm not saying that the travels are not important. You are saying they're important, but is the only means of transport that top of the range luxurious private jets when we say we don't have money?
I don't know what you call top of the range, but you see, it's imperative that we as a nation, the man that we have put our trust in for the next couple of years to steer the affairs of this nation, it is important that internationally we are as relevant. I mean, this is Ghana you're talking about. And when we have to go, we will have to go. You can look at the cost, but also
people are losing trust in the president. in your constituency?
We are such a political. I mean, politics is embedded in every facet of ours.
I'm talking MPP people.
MPP people.
Yes.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Are
you saying?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, well,
now I'm having everybody question me.
No, but you have.
I'm sure that Councillor Amalaba
cannot be allowed to go.
Lawyer, I will get to your turn.
Are you saying that the present couldn't have achieved the same result? Are you saying that the president couldn't have achieved the same result?
You see, sometimes
by traveling less.
But I've asked that question already.
By traveling less.
He has answered that question.
You see, there's a crusader, Honorable Okujeto Ablakwa, on this issue of travels and luxury and all of that. You see, when I was in Parliament, I remember one particular trip. I was a leader of the delegation by virtue of being on the majority, and I traveled with Honorable Okujeto and I think 2 other MPs. I was a leader. We had to visit 3 European countries.
Right.
I mean, we were visiting our ambassadors and high commission. We didn't travel coach. We didn't travel economy.
What was your economic situation at the time?
We didn't travel
What was your economic situation at the time?
Within 5 days, we had to go to 3 countries.
No, I'm asking you, what was the economic situation at the time?
Did you hire a jet?
We didn't hire a jet, but what I'm saying, my point is that we didn't travel economy.
But what was your economic situation at the time?
We didn't travel economy.
What was your economic situation at the time?
First class?
Are you saying we didn't travel first class?
You didn't travel first class, but you achieved.
Business.
But you traveled. You achieved what you wanted to achieve.
Yes,
without renting a jet.
We did, and we didn't have to rent a jet because that is not the.
So
practice.
say that to the president that he doesn't need to hire a jet,
the president has
and that
to
he can
go
still
to
achieve
these
all those things.
And if it's proven that our presidential jet is unable
No, who told you that? It's a lie. It's a lie. Stop that.
And all of that to be able to make the stops.
That has never been certified.
Okay,
why not?
We need to move on. So
Man
Fuseni,
is talking about vaccines.
So Fuseni,
self-sufficiency, not just for Ghana, but on the African continent. And you say that is not important.
You would have turned into a mumu if you had flown with our presidential jet.
It's okay.
That he's talking. So talking about vaccines is an achievement.
It's okay. We need to move on.
And then we have
talking about vaccines is an achievement.
Of course, not talking about making sure that we are self-sufficient.
Okay.
And it's not just in Ghana, across the African continent. And those are relevant travels that the
Fuseni, so on that one occasion when the president traveled commercial, did it change anything?
I am not too sure.
Did it change it from achieving his objective of traveling outside the country?
How you see. And sometimes when, his travels, it's not like going to one point and coming back. He's going to 2 or 3 different countries on this particular trip. And I tell you, it is important that we undertake these trips. We look at the cost.
I'm not saying it is not important. I'm saying when he traveled
on benefits that it brings. Nobody's talking about the benefits that it brings. But we are looking at what it takes.
On that one occasion when he traveled commercial, did it change the objective?
I am not on the presidential end, and I don't think it did.
Did it change?
It proves to it's a proving that when it is okay for him to go commercial, he will go.
Well, the private jet was waiting for him there.
I can't.
He got into a truck and went to high boats there.
I can't verify that. But let's look at the benefits.
I hear you. Let's say happy birthday to Mr. Kwame Asamoah. A blessed birthday on behalf of your son Reynard Elijah, and of course Eugenia, your beautiful wife. Says happy birthday. Says Ofilu Brutal. Happy birthday also to Mrs. Alice Akle Omani Mensa. You are 80 years today. I understand you love TV3 and New Day. This is from all your children and grandchildren. A happy birthday also from a special someone to you. Anita Ani Oscar Ampofwa, a.k.a. AAO. This is indeed a new beginning. Walk the F, my dear, he says. And it's from a special someone, Anita, to you. A happy birthday also to Portia Racy Johnson from Elvis. Do enjoy your day. And if it's your birthday as well, happy birthday to you. Let's begin this conversation. Guta. Lawyer Malba Blake, I begin with you. There's a full law, the GIPC Act, that prohibits or precludes foreigners from engaging in retail business. Now, I remember that under Honorable Hannah Tete, we had a situation like that, when people had taken a hard stance. Subsequent trade ministers have had their own conversations about that. But now you go to the Central Business District, and one of the traders narrated to me how they, for example, take a shop, they start selling water, they invest all their money and energies and make that shop a hub for water. And then the landlord comes, increases the rent. They can't afford it, but the foreigner can. And then they are ejected. The foreigner doesn't sell any other thing. Comes to sell the same water that the person was selling. So it's a more of a monkey they work, baboon they chop kind of situation. And they say, if you take our local economy from us, where would we go? So they chased out their leaders yesterday and actually threatened them. What can we do?
So good morning to your viewers after the initial discussions. We have a GIPC Act.
Right.
And that law specifically preserves some trading activities to our locals, which means that if you are not a local, you cannot engage in those trading activities. Even in some cases under the law, if a foreigner wants to go into that sector of the economy, the law mandates that foreigner to employ some or partner some locals so as to enable him get into that trade.
Right.
This law, which is the GMPC Act, I'm sure is what the Guta people are always referring to, and that is the basis upon which they make these statements that you have made. But this law is Ghanaian law. We also have the ECOWAS Protocol on Trade,
Right.
which allows free movement of goods and services within the sub-region. So the foreign traders, I don't want to mention nations and say Nigerians or whatever, but foreign traders would normally...
We just mentioned one nation.
Yeah, just to correct that, it is wrong to people to be tagging, certain countries, because we also have our people there.
That's right.
So foreign traders also cite the ECOWAS protocol, which allows them to trade in some countries, in other neighboring countries. The issue now is, how do we reconcile the two laws? Municipal law, which is the GIPC Act, and then the ECOWAS protocol. How do we reconcile the two? Until we do that, I am of the view that the municipal law prevails. And so, as a sovereign nation, we should implement our laws to the extent that it will protect our locals who are in those trading activities.
That would be akin to singing two songs at the same time.
Why will you do that? Why is it two songs?
Well, we are going to sign the ECOWAS thing.
Yes, and so I'm saying that if we cannot reconcile, because the two are incongruous, you need to reconcile. If you cannot, but for now, I think that we should give more attention to the municipal law until we do the reconciliation. But also, when you now look at the operations of the two entities, and I'm talking about local traders and foreign traders, you'll notice that the prices of the foreign traders are lower or cheaper than that of our Ghanaian counterparts.
You know why? The traders tell me that Husseini is a wholesaler. He brings the goods in. He has the wherewithal. When he brings it in, he retails it to you at wholesale prices. And then while you are selling, because you need to add a little profit, he has also opened a small shop in front of his and is retailing what he should be wholesaling.
Good. But nonetheless, it's a factual statement that goods from the foreigners are cheaper, thereby edging out the local traders.
That's right.
This is where, for me, the Minister of Trade and the Minister of Trade must step in. This is where the Minister of Trade, and for that matter, the Minister of Trade, who is in charge of that sector, must devise policies, strategies to ensure that this friction between the local traders and the foreign traders and the issue of high prices emanating from the local traders are dealt with. Because, look, as a customer, we are rational.
Right.
And so I don't care who is the owner of the goods. I don't care whether it's a Nigerian, a Lebanese, Chinese, I don't care. There's something I want on my table to eat breakfast. So as a rational customer, when I go into the market, I look for where things are cheap for me to buy. And naturally, we will gravitate towards the foreign traders, leaving the locals. You may want to help your local, but the circumstances would not dictate that you should go to the local. And so this issue didn't start today. I remember during the Kufuor administration, it started rearing its ugly heads between the friction between the foreign traders and local traders.
Right. Till
this day, how many governments? So the fact that we have not been able to resolve it, and the last time I saw a delegation from Nigeria coming to meet our parliament and then met the Minister of Trade, what has come out of that? Or is this a talk shop? We have failed the local traders as a nation. I must say that as a nation, we have failed them because they have been agitating about their conditions in the market since time immemorial. And I think that if today it is still rearing its ugly heads, I think that we have failed them. We need to step back. The Ministry of Trade must spearhead this advocacy, must bring on board all stakeholders to, for once, deal with this matter. Else, there's no end in sight. And I think that we are not doing good to our local traders.
Fusini, how do we solve this problem without ruffling diplomatic feathers?
I think, Johnny, it's been a sensitive matter, and it's been a challenge for a while now. It's not just unique to this administration. Even previous administrations had to go through it. Yeah. But I was just searching a name. It just brings a name to mind. Musili Ubanikoro, one-time High Commissioner of Nigeria to Ghana. And his role he played in some of these things when tempers had gone high. But it's all about the market conditions. I must say that Guta is quite, for what I see from where I sit, I think it's a very well-run organization. And for violence to spear its head in its affairs, I think that members should rethink that. I think it's an organization that has a constitution and all of that. And so they should revert to the ways that they have to do things. You don't have to go to do what we are seeing on the screen. But I mean, it's like, and I identify myself with what Councillor Maliba has been saying. There's this disconnect between what the ECOWAS protocol say, what our GIPC Act also says. So it's the need to reconcile this. Albeit given the situation, you hear that, especially, I won't run away. The Nigerian traders around, apparently they are able to get funding at a lower cost, so they are able to bring in bigger quantities. They are able to price their products at more competitive. But the quality is also a problem that is also being discussed. I think that as a people, we need to see, because from what I glean, I am not a lawyer, but I think that when there is an ECOWAS protocol in place, it actually supersedes our local laws. That's right, yeah, lawyer. That's the situation, isn't it? And so we need to find a way to reconcile this thing. Else, time and again, it will spear its ugly head, and then it will be saying things like that. But in the long term, I think that we should also respect our acts. I mean, stay in your lane. I mean, if you're a wholesaler, try not to get into beyond your what we used to call trading or ultra-virus, or doing something beyond what you've been permitted to do and all of that. But you see, the situation is also, and then like you said, consumers are rational. If I go to the market, I'm going to look for where I'm going to get the same quality product at a lower price, and so people tend to patronize the goods that are priced more competitively, and it's something that we need
Are you seeing direction from the Trades Ministry?
I mean, this is not the first time. I mean, time and again. I remember in my time in Parliament, these issues came up. And Guta made representations in Parliament, was followed up by committees of Parliament. But we are never able to get a definite conclusion. All because of the difficulty in reconciling the position, looking at the ECOWAS protocols and looking at the GIPC Act. That's the biggest challenge that we have there.
Well, you see, the ECOWAS protocol, we need to find out whether it has been domesticated. If a protocol is signed and it is not domesticated, it cannot override the domestic
But how
law.
do you go and sign onto a protocol?
Yes, you can sign it
that
without ratifying it
of your local law.
If you don't ratify it, and there's a two way of doing it, you send it to Parliament, and Parliament ratify it, and then it becomes domesticated. It is part of your laws. Until then, your domestic laws prevail. I don't know whether this has been done. If it has not been done, then your local law still proceeds.
I tell you, ratification in Parliament, it's a process. I mean, and
so until then,
I served on the Foreign Affairs Committee.
Until then,
some
your
of these
local law
ratifications will come to Parliament and last for overlive the life of a Parliament.
Really?
I don't know why those things happen.
Why?
Because sometimes it's even difficult to reconcile what is in Parliament and what is in the ministry. So every now and again, we'll call for all outstanding international laws that needs ratification to come to Parliament, so the processes go through. And it's kind of a challenging, but that should not be an excuse. But let's also not forget, when we undertake actions like that, there are Ghanaian nationals also trading outside of this jurisdiction, also taking advantage of the same ECOWAS protocols that we are talking about. So we should be quite circumspect in the way we treat some of these things in order not to cause some international diplomacy shuffles. In the past, we have gone close to that, and I don't think that we should encourage such a...
There's the ECOWAS protocol, there's the GIPC Act, which is very specific, that leave retail business for indigents. And then there's the local assembly. There's a GRA.
Sorry, I think foreigners are allowed, but their capital requirement is at a certain level.
They cannot do retail business.
There are some areas they can't do at all.
They cannot.
And there are areas that they must have a certain capital. And they must also have a joint partnership with Ghana.
Yes.
So it depends.
But there's a GRA. There's a local authority that goes to knock on their doors to take monies from them for doing retail business. So we know what the position of the law is. But then we go to them and collect monies from them. AMA will go and collect if they're in the Central Business District. Which other places you find them, KMA will collect from them. Are we not endorsing what the law frowns upon?
Is that the responsibility of the KMA and the likes of AMA to make sure that they police foreign traders in the markets?
Well, so it means that they are not talking.
It's not part
GIPC, AMA, GRA, they are not talking.
Do you see institutions talking that easily in this country? They tend to compete amongst themselves. They tend to feel their power upon themselves. So why do we go to these people and speak with them? You see it. Even with the ministries that we have, you see it. But there's a wider problem here.
What is it?
Since the Fourth Republic, how many factories have we built that would cater for some of the things that are sold in our markets?
106 and 8 people.
No, please. Please.
Forget about this, tabletop.
When you have an economy...
But they are talking about factories, is to talk about one factory. These are tabletop factories.
It's okay.
If the NDC had done a similar number,
we build factories like...
If NDC had promoted a policy like 1G1F,
you go and take a bicycle repairers
would have been miles ahead by now.
Factory.
If your party had pursued a policy like that, would have been a better
industry. Council, please progress.
We revive sugar factories.
Thank you. Please.
The sugar factory that you took only already made sugar there for the cameras.
Let's allow Lawyer Jantua his due. Let's be fair to him.
An economy that is import-led, it faces major problems. First is competition. So the foreign traders who are coming in, who bring the goods on wholesale basis, they're getting it from somewhere at a very cheap rate. And they bring it in. And you have to compete with them because you are not manufacturing pengue. So let's take Chalewote.
What is pengue?
Pengue. First one.
The minutest
value
of kwacha.
Of money. Let's take chaliwate, which a lot of traders in the market sell. How many chaliwate factories do we have in Ghana? And even when we have those factories in Ghana, what is the cost of production? The cost of production in this country is very, very high.
Yeah, and support.
And so it creates a huge trough between...
Sorry not to cut you. I hear that fake hair that we import into this country is around $20 million per annum.
It's okay.
Brazilian hair.
It creates a huge trough.
We all have downcut hair.
It creates a huge trough between competition. And locals are then forced to sell it at a certain high price to make a margin.
That's right.
To make a return. Secondly, have we planned the economy? Is the economy planned? Is Ghana's economy planned?
That's what we're told, that is planned.
One
district,
is talking
one
one
factory.
district, one
One
factory.
village,
Is
one
it in a plan?
Oh.
Is it in a plan? It is in a manifesto. A manifesto is not a plan.
It's not in the MDPC plan.
It's not a plan.
Oh.
And you see, the challenge for me is that we've done it before. We have done it before.
Not like this. Not like this.
Wait, a lot of things that happen in this country, we've done before.
Under Osajifo.
Under Osajifo. When we did it under Osajifo, look at the number of factories we had. And as I keep saying, I transcend the Osajifos right up to the Akufo-Addos. I saw the air conditioners. I saw the fans. I saw the radios. I saw the matches. I saw the shoes. I saw the buses. I saw the cars.
Tomato factories.
Tomato factories.
Glass.
Glass factories.
Ties.
Tie factories. Sugar factories. I saw all. And yes, at the time, the population was small. But even if, with the era of the coups, even if we decided to keep a quarter of those factories today, would that not take us somewhere? Look, Osajifo, in his wisdom, decided that once upon a time going forward, this country will be full of cars. So what did he do? He planted rubber, nearly over 200-something acres of rubber, set a rubber tire factory for us to produce our own tires. What do we see today? Do we not see multiplication of cars on the roads?
Yeah.
Do we not see foreign tires come in? And some of those tires are not even for our roads. Some of those tires are snow tires, where you put on your car during snow, and we bring it in, and it causes accidents. Are you saying that we can't plan our economy? And we can only plan an economy if we have a national development plan, period.
The NDPC insists that they have a plan.
Where?
Well, they say.
I was part of
the letter I cited.
I was part of the 40-year national development plan.
Right.
I was part of those who drafted the energy side. And I'm telling you, the kind of information in that document, the kind of information, do you know in Ghana today, we've used only 45% of our gold resources? Do you know we have mineral resources like spar, columbite in this country that we haven't even... And so, without a plan, how does your economy work?
But where is the plan you developed? 40-year, President endorsed it, said cut it into 10 years.
We handed it over to the President and we don't know what has happened.
And you resigned and blocked.
Against it. You remember during his vetting, Osafo said that there was no need to have a 40-year development plan. And you remember?
Well, I remember, but it was broken down into tens.
Look, turn into tens. South Korea, for the what do you call it? For the energy sector loan. For the energy sector loan, they have a 20-year national development plan for the energy sector loan. 20 years. 20 years.
But right now,
let me ask the question.
Yes.
Let me ask the question. Don't you think the Ministry of Industry and Trade should be split?
No, more bureaucracy. No.
It shouldn't be split.
It's too much.
Which is easier? Which is easier to do? Trade or industry? And really, the Minister of Trade and Industry, what are they really doing? Trade or industry?
The trading. The
Industry should be on its own. Look, I'm with AGI, and we have been pushing for added value. Been pushing for added value. We have rubber here, don't we? Can we not manufacture our own chalewote? There's so many things we can manufacture in this country that we are not doing. And so, foreigners come in. When you have a country like Nigeria, where a state population is equal to our population, Lagos, 30 million people, is equal to Ghana's population, can you compete? And the Nigerians don't feel the Ghanaian impact because the country is huge. And so if we even go in there and we are trading, they don't feel it. Unlike ours.
It's a drop in the ocean.
Yes, it's dropping, unlike ours. So the question is, and it's good to find solutions, how do we marry the two?
Tell us.
Because apart from that, remember the European countries, the Western countries are also waiting to flood our markets.
Right. They have already flooded our markets.
So it's a question, now that the president is chairman of ECOWAS, it's a question of ECOWAS heads of states, or even the AU sitting down and saying, you have this law, we have the ECOWAS protocol, we have the AU protocol on trade. Let's sit and see how best we can do it. And then we should try as much as possible to drop our cost of production. And most of that cost of production has got to do with financing, availability of financing.
Are the banks willing to give money?
They are not willing. Because government is also competing with the locals for monies from the banks. And the banks know that the government, there's a guarantee there. But sometimes I blame ourselves.
Why?
Let me give you an example. MTN have a loan facility to help other people.
Quick loan.
Yeah, quick loan. We go for that quick loan and we don't pay. And because we don't want to pay, we throw the chip that is in our phone away so that they can't trace us. Who are you blaming? Because the MTNs and the like will not sit down for their business to collapse. They'll find a way of taking it off the people.
Right.
Sometimes we are the problem. We are the problem. And so, where are the regulators? Those who are supposed to regulate to make sure that these things don't happen, where are they?
Somebody says, look, and I had a chat about 3 weeks ago, says that you want to start a small business. You want to add value to plantain chips. Just when you start, GRA is knocking, EPA is knocking, FDA is knocking, the local assembly is knocking. So even before you make your first CD, people are asking you to pay huge sums of amount. Where is that support? And of course, in the GIPC Act, we see how the support is supposed to come to people who are coming from outside, foreign direct investment. And we say we have given you these number of holidays, we give you this quota, employ this, da. Do we have that for our locals?
I don't think so.
I want to start a small factory.
Let me tell you something I discovered yesterday. And two of you can...
quickly so we can go on break.
Tell me whether it's right. You know, we pay tax on our rent and VAT on our rent, commercially.
Yes. Yes.
Is it right?
I don't
rent tax.
Rent tax.
Yeah.
For the landlords as a landlord's income.
If you rent an office space,
okay,
you pay.
You pay tax on the rent you're paying, and you pay VAT.
So I rent a small factory.
Say this is a small factory.
Right. Per square meter.
Yeah, per square meter.
It's calculated like that.
And I'm the landlord.
Right.
I'm the landlord. And you pay me rent. I've got to pay tax on that rent.
Tax,
yes.
And
on the landlord.
Yes.
And
the VAT. So who will the landlord put that?
Put it on the
exactly.
On the tenant.
Is that not a cost, a higher cost of production?
So that's what I was talking about.
Where in the world is this done?
Oh,
The landlord will take it from the tenant.
Exactly.
The taxation, we say the incidence of taxation.
It's on the tenant.
And it's not on the tenant, it's on the landlord.
But
the landlord is earning income.
Eventually,
the landlord is earning income. On that income is what? Just like a lawyer earning fees.
Eventually, I'll push it to my clients.
So the lawyer earning fees.
I'll push it to my clients.
Let me tell you, my office.
So the client suffers the more.
Listen, my office landlord has pushed it onto me to pay.
So you
and
are paying
if I'm producing something and I'm also paying that, and cost of production is high, how do I make a profit?
You transfer it to the consumer.
Exactly.
But it's just like paying rent and your cost of the rent.
Are we not charging the people too much for everything? And I'm saying I have friends who start, you know, maybe a sandals making, you know, shop. They are paying this rent. They are paying that tax on the rent. They are paying VAT. Then even before they start, and I'm saying this, EPA comes, okay, you are using this chemical, blah, 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 it will affect this. The local assembly is coming, GR is coming. So even before they make their first profit, like they just display the thing and put it there, everybody is coming to collect money from them already. How do they even survive to employ people? And we're asking people to go into entrepreneurship. How do we...